Hi guys, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the video number 355. And in this video, I'm going to actually try to answer one of the query I received from my subscriber, and this is going to be a wonderful video because this comes actually more of a from a practical scenario, right? So that's why I have given this title as a case study. Now, if you're watching the channel for the first time, my name is Ajay, and I actually have taken this, aim to make every professional awesome in Excel, VBA, Access, and Access VBA 2 years back. So with that, thing in my mind, with that mission, I started this channel. Right, so we are now on the video number 355, and I'm so actually thankful to each of you who day by day subscribing to the channel and coming with your wonderful questions. Thank you so much for your love, for your support, and for subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much again. So guys, let me directly take you to the question which I actually received on the PowerPoint. So in this video we are going to make the PowerPoint with the Excel using the, of course, Excel VBA. And before I read out the question, if you're new to the channel, then what you can do is you can actually go ahead and take this, let me show you actually what you need to do. You go to my this basically playlist here. You can see here we have got all the playlist here, different 43 playlist you will find here, and we have the introduction, we have the offset, arrays, file handling, connecting. Now this PowerPoint with the Excel, this is what I was talking about. I have already uploaded around, I think, 8-9 videos on this, 9 videos, right? So if you want to learn how to connect the PowerPoint, the Excel, how to make the slides automatically, don't waste your time on copy and paste, pasting the chart or the Excel data in the PowerPoints. Don't do that. Even if you are somebody who's really not an automation champion, or maybe not in MIS, but you are an HR person, this is the right place you are coming today. Okay, you have stopped by at the right place because of the reason you can learn all these codes from here. You can start from the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5, part 6. I mean, there are so many things, right? So this is going to be the extremely advanced video. I'm not really here going to talk about the basics, because if you want to learn the basics, why don't you go ahead and start with this series, right? And every video I can give you guarantee you will be benefited by that. You will not feel that what the heck, man, I was just watching and I wasted my 50 minutes. That I can bet on that, right? Because every video is pretty awesome. So today what I want to do is, Navneet Kumar Chauhan has posted this question 4 days back on my channel, and so he says, "Hi Ajay, I'm new here. I saw this video. Welcome to the channel. First of all, Navneet, I hope you will have a pretty awesome learning here." So he says, "It sounds very good to incorporate. Actually need one more help. The same scenario, I have charts in my sheets. Some sheets have 2 charts and some 3, and so on. What I want is, I want to add the charts as per the sheets. Means if one sheet is having 2 charts, and then both should be copied in one slide. And if other sheet is having 3 charts, then it should copy these 3 charts in second slide. I don't want a new slide for each chart." So he was actually, I think, he subscribed to the channel, and then he was watching some videos on the PowerPoint. This question came up in his mind, which he wants to now, actually he now needs our help. So we're going to help him, and he shared the code also with me, but I didn't find that code pretty enough. It's not I think the complete code underneath. So instead of putting you on the code side, why don't we just go ahead and read the code itself right in the video. So before I go ahead, guys, I want to tell you what exactly we're going to do and how this video is going to be different from my previous 9 videos. In this particular case, Navneet has a specific question, and what is the question is, he has different sheets. So I have created these dummy sheets. He hasn't shared any data with me, so I have just created these 4 dummy sheets in the Excel, and you can see here that in every sheet I have a different number of charts. Here I have 3, and here I have 5 charts, right? And here I have just 1 chart, and in the sheet A I have 2 charts. What we want to do is, we would like to paste all these, the charts based, this is the sheet numbers, okay, the slide, right? what basically we are trying to do, if my sheet number 1 has got two charts, these two charts should go and first get pasted in the slide number 1. It should not happen that this goes in the slide number 1 and this goes in the slide 2. So every sheet, so from every sheet we would like to pull up the charts and we would like to paste them in the single slide of the PowerPoint. So just in case when it goes to the sheet C, so all these three charts should be pasted in the slide number 3. And when we're going to go to sheet D, which is the fourth sheet, then all these 5 charts should be pasted on the fourth slide of your PowerPoint. So we'll have to create some conditions there. So this is what I have in my mind. I mean, this is what actually he has in his mind, and now we're going to solve this puzzle. Let's go to the developer tab, and before I go further, I want to tell you basically how, because I don't want to give you the some sort of the coding information. I want to also help you in understanding the things. Now you see, first of all, one thing is very clear, that because I don't know how many sheets you will have, whoever is watching this video, you may have 50 sheets, you may have 10 sheets, 5 sheets, or maybe 2 sheets. Right? So we are guys again going to use the loop, which will help us in looping through all the sheets one by one. The sheets have given them name A, B, C, D, but who knows, maybe in your case the sheet name will also be different, right? So we're going to use the loop, this loop for each worksheet in worksheets. If you do not know anything about these loops, you can go ahead and check my video, the Excel VBA collection loops. Right? I've explained these all loops in a very detailed manner. I have discussed everything in quite detail there, so you can go and check out those videos. This is what will ensure us that every time the sheets will be full. Once you are looping through the sheets, what you need to do, you also need to check how many charts you have. So I have created here 2 charts. In your case, it might be 1 chart, it might be 4 charts. I don't know, right? What exactly is going to be a scenario. So we are going to run one more loop, which is called the for each chart object in chart objects. And the beautiful thing is that we're going to run these loops together. This is going to be the inner loop, which I'm writing here for each chart objects in chart object, and next, and this is going to be the bigger loop, which I'm writing here. Let me just give it a kind of a referencing. Let me just move it here. Let me paste it here. Yeah. So that's how, guys, your loop would look like. So we're gonna make the sub loop inside the bigger loop, and that's it. At the same time, we will open the PowerPoint and we will keep on creating the slides as we keep on moving to the next sheet, and we are going to paste the data there. So let's go ahead and let's start the code. I'm going to click on the Visual Basic. This is how the code would start. I'm on the module 2, and this is where we will write the program. So let me just close this. The first thing which we will like to do, we will like to on the Microsoft PowerPoint library. You can see it is already activated in my case because I was working on the PowerPoint. By default, it is not there. You need to search for it. Just press M and find out where is your Microsoft PowerPoint. All the libraries in this tool reference are sorted in the alphabetical way. So you just click on this Microsoft and see where you have that Microsoft PowerPoint. So somewhere here, after this publisher, you will get to see that. So once you check mark that and you click OK, then you come back to the reference, you will find that library on the top after this Microsoft Office 16.0, guys, because I'm using the Excel 2016. If you're using any other version, that number will change, but it is really not going to change the program and the plan. Right? This will work in every code. Okay. So, of course, one thing I want to tell you, this program will not work in case if you send this file to somebody who is using the lower version. I've prepared this code in 16, so it's not going to work in 13 or 10 unless that person goes to the tool and reference and convert this, change this Microsoft PowerPoint 16.0 the Microsoft PowerPoint, let's say 15.0 or 14.0, whatever version you are using. You will have to do that. You got to tell your user, right? Because this PowerPoint 16.0 will show there as missing library. Because the other person doesn't have that, 16 or PowerPoint 16, Office 16, I mean to say, how can this library can be activated there? So common sense. So you just need to tell them that first, before they run the program, they just got to activate their own library depending upon the version, and that's it. It would show there as missing would come here, and then Microsoft 16.0 library, right? If you are going to use this in the 2016, no problem, you don't have to do anything. Also, if let's say if I was using Excel 2007, I would have used this. I think for this Excel 2007, the version is 12.0. So if I would have made that code in 12.0 and I would have sent it to you, and you're using the higher version, again you don't have to tell your user, because from the lower version to the higher version, automatically this library gets captured. You don't have to do anything. The problem actually lies, you actually make the code in the higher version and you send it to somebody who is using the lower version. So in that case, you need to tell them. I was pretty, I think, fast in speaking. I beg your pardon, but no, I mean, I have covered all these things in almost my every video, so I didn't want to spend so much time on that, right? So, but now in the code, we will definitely like to go a little slow so that we can also understand the things. So there we go. I'm gonna write, first of all, what we need to do is, so I want to paste the chart, so I'm gonna write here the paste chart, and let's start the coding now. Okay, so what is the first thing we always do? First of all, you will declare your object, which is your PowerPoint. So you're gonna declare it here dim ppt as PowerPoint dot application, right? And then you're gonna write here set ppt equals to new PowerPoint dot application. We are using the late binding method. I beg your pardon, early binding method, right? Early binding method is a method where you actually tell the VBA that you're gonna use the PowerPoint classes at the beginning of the code, right? Because this tool in the reference means that telling your Excel VBA that we're gonna use the PowerPoint classes. There is another method which is called the late binding method, which doesn't really require this library to, to be activated, and it works in all the versions regardless of your higher version or lower version. So that is also another method, and I in fact had talked about that as well in my previous video. I talked about that, how to change the code from the binding to the late binding, right? You will find that video again in my this PowerPoint series, 2 methods using the PowerPoint, connecting PowerPoint with the Excel. You can go and watch that. Okay, so now once you have created the PowerPoint, we're gonna make it visible. So I'm gonna write here it's going to be MSOC true, or you just write true as well, that's fine. So this is going to activate the new PPT in your background. When I run this, then what is the next thing I want to do? Well, the next thing I want to do is, once you have this PPT available, you would like to add the presentation, because after the PowerPoint, the next task which you would like to use here is the presentation. So you're going to write here, let's say presentation. I use the this press as PowerPoint dot presentation. This is how you write. Then you're going to write set press equals to, it is going to be the presentation add. So you will have the presentation added. Okay, if I just go ahead and run this code, see, this is how it will look like. So I'm going to run this. There we go. It's going to make that PPT visible for you. I don't see anything happening here, because of the reason I have already got one of the I think the PPT activated. You can see that this is a PPT. So let me just save this and close this. Now on my window there is just Excel and VBA window. So let us go ahead and run this again. So the moment I'm going to run this, you see that in the background the PowerPoint, this file is activated. Now this is a new file. All the buttons you can see in the ribbons, they are not going to work. They are all de-highlighted. Right? That's on the basis of this. Now this PowerPoint, which is a new, we're going to add the presentation. The moment you add the presentation, see what will happen. Let me just put a little more space. If you just click here, you can see that you get to see here the presentation added. Now here we need to actually add the slide. So obviously when you're going to run this the program, when you want to place the charts, the first slide we would like to create right away before we run anything. So I'm gonna add the slide. So I'm gonna write here that my slide, let's say, as PowerPoint dot slide, and then what you need is you write here dim my slide equals to, then gonna add the slide, then dot add. Okay, this is how you write. This will add the slide. Now which slide you want to add it? Obviously I'm going to add the first slide, which is going to be 1, and I'm just going to keep it as blank. That's it. Now this will add the slide. If you want to see how it is going to work, of course we can run it. So the presentation is added in the background. You can see here if the presentation is added, and the moment I run this, see what will happen. You will have the first slide getting added in your PowerPoint. Now once you have the PowerPoint added, guys, let me first close this. Let's go back to the worksheet, your Excel file, and let's loop through all the charts one by one. So we're gonna work here. I'm gonna declare my this workbook as this workbook, and then set WB equals to this workbook. Okay, and then in order to, maybe I think we don't need this line, that's fine. Just declare your worksheet ws as worksheet, because we are going to work with the the collection loop. So this is what we will write for each ws in worksheet. And next, now this will make ensure that we are one by one selecting all the worksheets. This is a very old, very much actually famous loop you would see on my channel, because we actually have used it a lot, most in the PowerPoints, even in the when you compile the data from the different sheets. So this is something which I have talked about in almost, I think, 5 or 6% of the videos so far. So this will loop through all the sheets one by one, right? Now once it is going to loop through all the sheets, definitely before it goes to the next sheet, I would like to capture the charts as well. So this is how we're gonna write ch as the chart object. Okay, so here once the sheet gets selected, for example, the first time this is going to select the sheet A. So here we will write, now please check all the sheets, all the charts one by one, and this is how you write active sheet chart objects. Next, we got the error here for each ch in. Okay, yes, and next, right? So this will loop through all the charts one by one. If I just show you, if you just put the message box here and you write here chart ch dot name, this your ch is now your chart object, and every chart object has a name. For example, if I just click here, you get to see chart 1, and if I click here, this is where you get to see the chart 2. So every chart has a name, right? So when you're gonna run this, see what will happen. Run this, here we go. Here we go. Now look at this. So first time the chart 1 is coming, there's another chart which is coming. Now both the charts are finished. It goes to the next sheet. You can see that sheet B selected, and I'm gonna run this again. Now I have the chart 2. Now sheet B actually has only one chart, so I'm now going to select the next sheet. So I have sheet C. It's gonna again loop through all the charts one by one. So we have 3 charts here. Chart 1, chart 3, and that's it. And in the D, I'm gonna run this. We have the chart 3, and we have chart 4. These are the names actually, not the numbers. Remember, no, it can be anything. It can be chart 50 as well. Doesn't mean that it is actually if it is a chart 50, then that means that 49 charts must be created there. No, it is not that, right? Yes, but when you create the charts, it always get formed in a sequence. But maybe you can delete 40 charts. That doesn't mean that chart 50 create any problem for you. If I create first time the chart in my Excel, it is going to be chart 1, and the next time chart 2, and next time chart 3, without closing the Excel actually. And then what will happen the next time? If I delete this chart 1 and chart 2, obviously when you insert a new chart, that will be chart 4. It is not going to be again chart 1, right? So this is how we are going to actually take all the charts one by one. So you can see here we have all the chart names here. This is the chart 1. That's it. And so now this is how we can loop through all the charts. Perfect. Now obviously I don't want to loop through the charts. This is just for your information. Let me just delete this. What we need to do is actually we need to copy the chart. I'm gonna copy the chart. This is how you copy the chart, guys. And now you need to paste the chart. So where are you gonna paste the chart? Obviously the slide which you have created here is my slide. Okay. So how to paste the chart? So you're gonna write here my slide shapes, and then dot paste special, and then you can use bitmap default, whatever you want to use. I just use the bitmap. Okay. Once that is created, what will happen, it will go again in the next chart, and the same chart is going to be copied, and again it is going to be pasted in the same slide. So here you need to be very attentive at how actually you're going to create a new slide for the next sheet. So obviously I will not write anything within this loop, because here I'm looping through all the charts within the same sheet. Once I am through with this next word here, I actually I'm going to execute this next, which is your worksheet. I can write here next WS and I can write here next chart CH. You would understand it. So before it goes to the next sheet, let us create a new slide. So that's the same line you will add here, this one. Okay, so I'm gonna use here this line. Set my slide, add one more slide. Which slide? Obviously the slide number 2. So how are you gonna write here? Are you gonna write here 2? Of course not, because the next time when the slide 2 is going to be finished, it goes in the sheet C and it is going to capture these three. Going to copy these three charts. Okay? Next time you will need the 3 here, so this cannot be a constant. So we can find this using the command called how many slides I have already got. So you can write here slides dot count and you can just add 1 to it. That's how it is going to look like. So now you will have number of slides which are there and 1 will be added, so that will simply add 1 and it's going to take you to the next slide. So this is how the code actually is going to work. So let us go ahead and let's run this and let's see if we are able to do that. So I'm going to close this and now we're going to run this. Put the breakcode here as well. So let me just make it visible. It is visible. Presentation is added. All set. We have the first slide added. Now it's going to select the first sheet. Let me show you. I'm on the sheet C. You can see in this code. So this loop for each worksheet in worksheets, by default it is going to start from the sheet number 1, which is your sheet A. You really don't have to worry about it. On any sheet if you are, it doesn't matter guys, because this loop will always start with the first sheet. So I'm now on the sheet A and now you know that how many charts I've got here. By the way, we have got 2 charts, right? This loop should run now 2 times. So the first, and I also would like to show you the PPT so that we can see what is happening. Now the chart is going to be copied. It must have been copied. If it is copied, then it should be pasted on your this slide, which is my slide. My slide is the slide number 1. You added here 1, so it should paste here. Yes, it is pasted. Very nice. Now next chart. You have any other chart? Of course, there is a one more chart, so it should go to the next again, and as expected, that is also going to be copied, and now that is also going to be pasted in the same slide. Okay, you have the another chart which is pasted. You can see here, right? We'll move it to the to the upside, and then you can see another chart as well. Right now, let's just run the code. Now we know that we have only 2 charts in sheet A. So what will happen now? Obviously, you can see here there are only 2 charts. So the loop is finished. Once the loop is finished, what you want to do? You want to add one more sheet, one more slide. I beg your pardon. Now I have already got how many slides? 1. Presentation.slides.count is a property. Dot count actually is a property which tells you about existing slides in your active presentation, PowerPoint presentation, and there is already 1 slide here which we have created. It will simply add 1 to it. So this way guys, actually we have made it dynamic. So I'm going to run this. You can see that second slide is activated. After the second slide is activated, we'll go in the next worksheet, and if I just open this Excel and I'm just going to click F8, you see that the moment I run this ws.select, it should select sheet number 2, which is B. Very nice. And in this sheet we already know that we have just 1 chart. Okay. Now this chart is going to be copied and it should now paste in my slide, which is now the slide number 2, right? Is this slide number actually 2. So if I run this, let me see what will happen. You see that the chart is pasted. The chart is pasted. Now there is no further chart, so it will go to the another slide. It will create the new slide and then again come back to the another sheet, and now it is going to paste the first chart. And I remember, I think in this next sheet C we have 3 charts. Okay, so this should paste the 3 charts. There we go. And it hasn't, I think, pasted the 3 charts. I will see to it, but anyways, let's go ahead and next worksheet. Then I'm gonna select the new worksheet. In the new, basically your worksheet, you have 1 2 3 4 5 charts. Okay, so here we go, the first chart. There we go, the second chart. There we go, the third chart. You can see here. There we go. This is the last chart, and I think one more. Yes, that's it. And now one more slide will be added, but Once the new slide is added, you know your all the worksheets are covered. There's no further sheet, so automatically the code will stop, because for each worksheet in worksheet, when we use it, it works until it finds the last worksheet. We have on the last sheet, so the code should stop here. And this is how it looks pretty good here. Right? So I want to actually check that in the sheet C, basically here, how many charts I have actually got. We have the chart 2, we have the chart 1, and we have the chart 3. And I want to see, if I just see here the first slide, here we pasted 2 charts, and you can see the 2 charts are here. You can move them, you can put it wherever you want. Here we have just 1 chart. Here we have got 2 charts. I think this is what the problem is, because in your sheet actually 3, you have these 3 charts, right? So this particular chart is not pasted, I believe, because this is done and this is also done, and I think this is not pasted. It's the chart number 2. Okay, not a problem. We can see. But let me go to the next sheet also, and here I should have 5 charts. So I'll put them here. You can see all the charts are pasted, so you can resize them. You can put them wherever you want, right? I've already talked about that in my one of the videos where I how to paste the shapes on the corners of the PowerPoint slide. So there is a dot top and dot left properties, methods actually, which you can use. So let's go ahead and let us try to identify the reason. So what I will do, let me actually delete the charts once again. Let me delete this as well and delete this as well, and I'll simply create one more chart. Let me create this chart, okay, and let me give it some data. So this is the data. Give this data, let's say. Okay, so this is your first chart, and I'll create one more chart, for example, maybe anything. Okay, so I'm going to select this chart and I select the data again. I'm going to select this data this time. Okay, and you can see here this is another chart which I have created, and let me give it a different color. More chart we want to create, so the last one I'm going to create here, maybe 3D column, and I select the data again. I select this data and I press OK. That's it, guys. I have these 3 charts, and let me run the code again. Just close the presentation, this one. Okay, and let us run this. Now I'm going to run this. There might be some technical glitch, because of which I think wasn't able to capture all the charts, but I'm sure this time it will. So I'm going to hit on this F5. Let me run this quickly. Right, there we go. You can see that every slide are informed. So first of all, we'll see the first slide. It has 2 charts. Very nice. It has only 1 chart. Very nice. It should actually have 3 charts. So I'm going to see here. Oh yes, this is what exactly it is. So we have done it. This should give you the 5 charts. I beg your pardon. Yeah, absolutely. So possibly I think because I think when I begin the code, before I begin the code, I think I copied it from this copy and pasted the chart, and that's why I think it might not be able to record its instance in the memory. But I mean, I created all the 3 charts separately in front of you, and it is working, right? If I just delete this chart, for example, let's do the testing here again, and I delete one more chart from here. Let me delete that as well. We have just 1 chart. All right, so I'm going to close this chart, and now let me run this. Maybe I can delete one more from here. So every sheet has a 1 chart now, except for the B. And in fact here also let me delete this. Let's keep it only 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and run the code. I'm gonna hit here F5. Here we go. Now let's have a look. All right, I think this is perfect. This is a 1 chart. If I select this is also 1 chart. This is also 1 chart, and let's have a look. Oh yes, this is working perfect. As you can see here, you have the 3 charts. So that's it. This is what exactly you need to do. You need to set up the PPTs in this way. This is the most important line. And when you want to actually create the new slide, first you will look through all the charts from the current sheet. before it goes to the next sheet, let's create the new PowerPoint. So I hope guys you have enjoyed this, and thank you so much for putting the wonderful question, Navneet, and I hope you're having a good time on the channel. Guys, that's it. I will be back with some another exciting stuff very soon, as I always say. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know what you need to do. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.